Am I showing up to a funeral like this? I think I might one of these days. They talk about me like I'm trash anyway. I might as well. Hi, my name is Yolanda, and welcome back. Outfit of the day. Outfit of the day. Carrie, iconic. It's a shape of dress that I couldn't pull off. It says a lot, and I went to look up to see who it's. I guess it's a vintage dress from one of the costume designers there that they actually had in their closet. Nothing beats that dress. Nothing beats that dress, and that is like iconic Sex in the City. I'm glad they brought some fashion back. Actually, there were a few moments. I don't have anything to say about it. It is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. The silhouette on Carrie, because she's a smaller woman, so it gives her volume. It gives her presence. I'm here for it. That is the outfit of the episode. Okay, so we are back. And just like that, episode 2. Episode 2. I know I'm late. Okay, I know. I didn't get this idea until 3 days after watching the premiere of the show that I was going to have a channel dedicated to And Just Like That and everything Sex in the City related. I wrote down a whole bunch of ideas to do this channel. I'm excited. Come along for the ride. Please like, comment, subscribe. It is going to be And Just Like That related. Is it going to be all about the show? No. But I have a bunch of And Just Like That moments. These are my hot takes about episode 2. And Just Like That little black dress. We're here in our little black dress. It's it's gotten a little littler since the panini has taken over. Too much panini, and this is what happens. Okay, we start with a teen sex scene. Can we not? And it was really awkward and really cringy. And can we not? Okay, Sex in the City was for grown folk, and Just Like That is for even more grown folk, like the super grown, the uber grown. Okay, and most sane uber grown people, especially the women, do not want to see teenagers at it. Like, no, could we not? So that's number 1. Number 2, the moment between Miranda and Carrie, and we remember that, like, of the four, it was Miranda and Carrie's relationship that kind of carried the emotional tone for the show. Those very, very different characters coming together and commiserating. And I'm here for it. I think there are very few depictions amongst non-related women that show our affinity for each other physically. So to see it on screen, that was a great moment for me. That's number 2. The funeral parlor and different expressions of grief. There are some of us, and it's not me. I am very much like Carrie, emotionally removed from situations. I cannot cry appropriately. I'm not, I sit with Carrie in being removed emotionally from a situation. I am in this moment dealing with grief, and the way that I deal with it is to take care of business. It's not necessarily the healthiest thing to do, but we all show up to grief in different ways. But Charlotte is doing the most. And I think it's a very Charlotte way to show up to that situation, but I am also kind of like conflicted because she is the person who does the plans. She's the organized person. You would think that she would be able to be there for Carrie in that situation. It didn't happen. I understand why it didn't happen. Girl, you're doing too much. It's somebody else's grief. Okay, the ID scene. This, we get it. We saw it. We're going to see it again from Miranda, the Karen behavior. But this time it's not Karen, it's white savior complex. It's too much, doing too much in that particular moment, not helping. But I've been in that situation where I, needed to find my ID, could not find my ID, lost my mind trying to find my ID. Whoever the authority is in charge, giving me grief over it. Never, not once, has a white person come to save the day. Now, I've had people after a situation like that has been resolved between me, myself, and whoever the hell else is bothering me, say, oh, you know what, that was wrong. Very quietly, though. Y'all ain't that brave. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Y'all are not that brave. So the need for that scene, not necessary. That could have hit the floor. Number 6. So we are still with Miranda. Her scene with the bartender at the funeral. She evokes her, like, I can buy and sell you all week. Like, she does that. We know that she's Karen. It's an important scene because, again, high key, Miranda's an alcoholic. She needs a drink. She needs a drink before it is socially acceptable at a funeral to do so. The eulogy. That's terrible. Carrie's supposed to be a writer. At first, I thought this was we're showing Miranda's drunk, reading real slow. She's confusing the words. She doesn't have a good command over what she is saying. No, that was just really poorly written by Carrie. What? Carrie? Carrie's been writing all this time and writes a terrible eulogy like that? We're doing this? No. We're not going to do that. We're not. How lucky, how lovely, how long, how large, how sad, how lovely again, as a poem to her dead husband of 20-something odd years now. Or how long were they married? No, 10, 15 years. We've known this man for 20-something odd years. We've been together for most of it. I wrote a better eulogy to my slides that I threw out. They were about 20 years old too. The guest appearance, Susan Sharon. Am I the only one who remembers what a prick he was to her? Of course. No. I remember. The North remembers. I remember how terrible Big will always be. In memoriam, was a terrible person. And if we haven't gotten the point already, the weed scene, too much. It's too much. Number one, that character knows better. Marginalized communities, we know better, especially if we're in mixed company. We are not doing that. We are not giving someone who even looks like they could possibly be too young for that nonsense. We're not giving them weed. We're not. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, Miranda, no. And so the interaction between the characters of color and the melanin deficient characters, are we doing this? Are we creating relationships out of trauma? Because I know that I've had these encounters. I've had these very, very terrible encounters. I did not become friends with them. I still have white friends. I do. It's 2021. I need a gold star for that. No, we're not doing that. After those encounters, and generally, I was in a Zoom meeting, people got upset. They were like, I would never. And I was like, professionally, sometimes you have to hold your water in order to keep your job. I've done it. I still do it. We let things pass. We don't let things affect us. We do our jobs. But we also don't form relationships with those that do that. We don't. And so it seems all of this trauma bonding is going on between the whites and the non-whites, and I'm not here for it. There's got to be a better way to resolve that than name dropping and saying, oh, that's Carrie's boss, and now we're besties. I'm going to watch that relationship with interest. The seminal scene. Carrie doesn't trust her friends, and she doesn't trust Charlotte. She never has, though. If I'm rewatching as we go through the original, because I'm trying to figure some things out, it was never about Charlotte. And Charlotte made it about her. And that is something that I have noticed in my relationships. This main character complex. Charlotte is walking around thinking that this is actually about her. It's all her fault. The incessant apologizing. If you have a heart problem, I would tuck a nitroglycerin pill into my hair. I'd have one tucked into my bra. I would have one everywhere. Especially if you're getting on that bike. That was Big's fault for not taking care of his heart. And it just could have happened at any time, anywhere. That's, that's the nature of what's going on today. You don't know when your number is up, and there's really no preventing any of it. Well, there is. Wear a mask, socially distance, get dressed up, get on the internet, and stay there. There's no cure for grief, and you're gonna be angry, and you're gonna be sad, and you might blame, right? Carrie's blaming herself. That internalized, no, it's not your fault. Big was grown, okay? He was more grown than you. In fact, he was in his 60s, and he had a heart problem, and these things happen. I've played the Monday morning quarterback as to what we should have done and everything else like that, and it's not productive, and it kills your soul. So I get all of the mechanics of the scene. I liked it. But also, what is trust amongst friends if we can't talk to, after all this time, we can't talk, we're still petty. We are still petty. And the thing is, I got a petty streak. I can be really, really petty, but to those that are dearest and closest to me, they know where I am all the time. This talk should have been the first scene of the episode. We will be back. We'll be back with another video, probably 10 hot takes from episode 3, if I can get it together to get it done on time. Thank you for being here. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will be back shortly.